The year is 1957. The month February. A biting wind whispers through the skeletal branches of the trees. The ground is hard, the air heavy with the promise of more snow. In the heart of this desolate winter landscape, in the quiet, forgotten woods of northeast Philadelphia, a discovery is about to be made. A discovery that will send ripples of shock and sorrow through the community, and ultimately, across the nation. Partially hidden beneath a thick layer of fallen leaves lies an old, discarded cardboard box. Weather-beaten and torn, its original purpose is barely discernible. A faded inscription hints at its past. The word bassinet, barely visible, a ghost of its former life. This unassuming box holds a secret, a tragic secret that will haunt generations to come. Inside it was the small, fragile body of a little boy, a life extinguished too soon, a mystery that would grip the nation and baffle investigators for decades. He would become one of America's greatest unsolved mysteries, a case that continues to generate theories, speculation, and a desperate yearning for justice. Known only as the boy in the box, an anonymous victim, a child without a name, without a history, seemingly without a trace. His identity remains shrouded in mystery, his story a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the shadows of society. It begins with an ordinary day. A young man, taking a shortcut, walking through the secluded woods near Susquehanna Road, enjoying the solitude of the winter landscape. His boots crunch on the frozen ground as he makes his way through the trees. Then, he stumbles upon something unexpected, a discarded cardboard box, partially concealed by leaves and debris. Curious, he kneels down, reaches for it, and opens it, and recoils in horror at what he finds inside. Inside, nestled amongst the cardboard, is the lifeless body of a child, a young boy estimated to be around 4 to 5 years old. His small frame is unnaturally still, his face pale and gaunt. It's clear he's been subjected to unimaginable suffering. He's been beaten, his body bearing the marks of violence, starved, his ribs visible beneath his thin skin. The young man, shaken and distraught, immediately alerts the authorities. Within minutes, police cars are racing to the scene, their sirens cutting through the quiet of the woods. Officers swarm the area, their faces grim as they approach the site. They find the boy carefully, almost deliberately, wrapped in a cheap, worn plaid blanket. A blanket that offers no comfort, no solace, only a silent testament to a life tragically cut short. The initial crime scene yielded little in the way of concrete leads. There were no fingerprints on the box, no personal belongings that offered a clue, no missing children reports that seemed to match the boy's description, no clothes that might indicate where he came from, no toys, no familiar objects, nothing to give them a starting point. The investigators were facing a wall of silence. With conventional methods failing, investigators were desperate to find any lead, any connection. They decided to blanket the region with information. They printed 400,000 flyers, a massive undertaking for the time, each one bearing the boy's image, hoping to spark a memory, a recognition, anything that could break the case open. They posted the boy's face on gas bills, reaching every household in the area. They even went to the extreme of posing his body in lifelike images, a controversial tactic, hoping to jog someone's memory, to trigger a recollection of a similar child, a lost neighbor, anything that could provide a clue. The newspapers ran stories, the radio broadcast descriptions, but still, nothing. But despite their exhaustive efforts, no one came forward to identify him. With no leads and no hope of finding his family, he was buried, a heartbreaking ceremony for a boy no one knew. He was given a name, a title, a symbol of the countless unidentified victims. America's unknown child. For over 60 years, his identity remained a mystery, a ghost story haunting the halls of law enforcement. The case was passed between detectives, each one taking up the mantle of the unsolved. It was whispered in true crime circles, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can exist, a puzzle that seemed impossible to solve. The medical examiner's report offered a few scant details. He had scars on his groin, ankle, and chin. These weren't accidental marks. They were clean, precise, possibly surgical, hinting at a medical history, a doctor, a hospital visit. But even these details led nowhere. Another dead end in a case filled with them. But who was he, this little boy lost to time? Who hurt him, inflicting wounds both visible and unseen? Who left him like trash, discarding a life as if it had no value? The questions lingered, unanswered, a constant echo in the pursuit of justice. In 2022, the impossible happened. The Philadelphia Police Department, working with genealogical experts, used modern DNA technology. The process took years, and hope was thin. But finally, on December 8, 2022, they gave the boy a name: Joseph Augustus Zarelli. Born January 13, 1953. He had a mother, a father, half-siblings. He came from West Philadelphia. But the question remained: why did no one ever report him missing? Some theorize that Joseph endured unspeakable abuse for most of his tragically short life. The evidence paints a grim picture: chronic malnutrition that stunted his growth, the undeniable signs of blunt force trauma inflicted upon his small body, and the clandestine, silent burial that attempted to erase his existence. These details suggest a pattern of sustained cruelty, a systematic deprivation and violence that ultimately led to his untimely death. The question remains: who subjected this innocent child to such horrors, and why? What secrets were buried alongside him in that lonely field? The Philadelphia Police Department has never closed the book on Joseph's case. Detectives continue to sift through old leads and pursue new information, determined to bring his killer to justice. The investigation remains active, a testament to their unwavering commitment to solving this decades-old mystery. A $20,000 reward is still being offered for any information that leads to the arrest and conviction of those responsible for Joseph's death. Authorities urge anyone with knowledge of the case, no matter how insignificant it may seem, to come forward and share what they know. For years, Joseph's grave was simply marked, "America's Unknown Child." A stark and heartbreaking epitaph that reflected the anonymity surrounding his life and death. But now, thanks to the tireless efforts of investigators and genealogists, his headstone bears his true name: Joseph Augustus Zarelli. A name reclaimed from the shadows, a recognition of his humanity. Flowers are often left at the base, a symbol of remembrance and a promise that he will never be forgotten. Someone, somewhere, holds the key to unlocking the truth about Joseph's fate. Someone witnessed something, heard something, or knows something that could finally bring closure to this tragic case. Help solve the case. Your information, no matter how small, could be the missing piece of the puzzle. Contact the authorities and help us bring justice for Joseph. He was once just the boy in the box, a nameless victim whose identity remained a mystery for over 6 decades. Now we know his name, Joseph Augustus Zarelli. But knowing his name is not enough. His voice, silenced so long ago, his story still cries out from the shadows, yearning to be heard, demanding justice. We must continue to listen, to investigate, and to remember Joseph until the full truth of his life and death is finally revealed.